In the name of Allah, the most merciful and the most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you all? I hope you are enjoying your good health. This is Pakistan International School Types virtual learning class for the subject science and for grade 7. Dear students, we are on chapter number 5, that is about water, and today we will see some methods of cleaning of water and some uses of water as well. Yes, dear students, we will see here cleaning of water. In the previous topic, we have discussed water impurities, that how the water is polluted. Now we are going to see how that polluted water can be cleaned, can be purified. We know that lots of germs, dirt, salts, and other chemicals are dissolved in the water. So they can be moved to our drinking water also, like in the fresh water. So there are certain processes of removing of impurities. Those are called purification of water. Now we'll see what are these methods. So first of all, we will see a filtration. Uh, all these processes you have studied in grade 6 as well, but right now we will just see their overview and some other methods also. So first of all, we'll see filtration, by which we can filter the water, then boiling. That is another method for cleaning of water. The third one is chlorination. And what is chlorination? We will see in a couple of minutes. And then we will see using of potash alum. Potash alum is maybe the new name for you, but we will see it in a few minutes. And then we will see distillation process. You have studied in grade 6 also, but we will see here some more detail. So let's talk about the first that first method which is used for cleaning of water, that is filtration. So in laboratory, we can purify water by this method. That is very simple method, and simply we can use that in on a small scale in the lab. So impure water is passed through the filter paper, and suspended particles and insoluble salts are left behind on the paper. Which paper we are going to use here? That is filter paper, and clear water will be obtained on the beaker. So mostly that is used for removing dissolved substances, and somehow undissolved substances also, like you can see in this image. There is muddy water, and when we pour it through this filter paper, and what's happened, the water just passes from this filter paper, clean water it is. As you can see here in this beaker, there is residue, as well as there is the residue of mud, sand, or whatever the substance is, it is left on the filter paper. So this water is clean now, but this water is not so pure to drink it, because lots of invisible substances are also present in that. So what is the other method? We will use it, a very simple method to just separate or just kill all the germs which is present here. This is water filtration plant, which is used near the tube wells in Pakistan, especially in Lahore city. The government has installed that near the water tube wells as well, from where like the people can get pure water. And these are very small filters. These filters we also use at home with our taps in the kitchens, and we can get clean water from that. That is also the example of a filtration. So if you see filtration, uh, on the large scale, it is done by water treatment plants that are installed in the city, which give the pure and clean water to the people, to the residents of that area. So you can see here a large plant is installed, and in that you can see that there is a water stored, water source, where that can be a lake, a reservoir, or any tank, etc., is there. And so it can pass it around through the pipe into a container that is having flocculants in that. Flocculants are the substance which is mixed with the water, and the dirty particles or the suspended particles attached with them, and they form clump like structure. We will see in the next steps also. And these are the sediment tanks where just what will happen, all the sediments and like we can say all the suspended particles, now they form the clump like structure, like those are called precipitates, and they are settled down and now clean water is there, but yet it is not drinkable. So what will happen now, it is passed through this pipe into this tank where the filtration process occurs, and there are big filters are just installed in this tank, and water passes through these filters, and now water is pure. Just a little bit like all the suspended particles are left behind, but there is still the process to kill the germs, because germs can pass through that filter paper, so by filtration. So here disinfectants or the chemicals just mixed with the water just to make it clean. So by that it goes into the water tank. Now the water is pure and clean for the drinking purpose as well, and they just gone send to the like business, to the industries, as well as into the to the residents, to the homes now. So what type of disinfectants we can use, and what type of like flocculants we can use, we can see in the next upcoming methods. Now you see the very simple method which is applied everywhere. It can be easily processed on the large scale or very small scale. So here we can see that in the villages, people can easily use this method, because this is very simple and easy process. No, like money has to spend and without cost. So on this, like fire, water has to boil for 15 to 30 minutes, and lots of germs can be killed by uh, this boiling. And so before drinking, the water has to be cooled down. So what happened after when we boil the water, the unseen substances, those are called yeah, these are the germs, bacteria, or any type of germs which can make us ill. So they are gonna destroy, or they are gonna kill now, are killed. And so because that is reachable, so everyone has to drink boiled water, because that is healthy, because the germs are killed in this process. The next step or next process we will see here, that is by chlorination. Chlorination, if boiling is not possible, we can add a liquid household bleach, that is like if you are having bleach which we use for bleaching the clothes, so we can add that bleach into the water. So how can we use, there is a method, because that is a dangerous chemical, so it is having a method. Actually chlorine is a gas which is present in the liquid form in this chlorine, so or in the bleach which we use at home. So that is in the liquid form, in mixed with other chemicals. So when like add the amount of bleach or chlorine according to the given table, because like this person just a few drops are needed for a certain quantity of water. So if we see here, volume of clear water and amount of 5 to 6% liquid chlorine bleach, like that must be dilute, not must be concentrated, means chlorine must be in very less quantity. So we can have like if we are having 1 liter of clear water, like we must not have sandy or muddy water, we must have clear water for that. And for clear water, if it is 1 liter, so just 3 drops of that chlorine bleach must be added, just a 3 drop. 4 liter is equal to what we can say 4 glasses. 4 glasses, glass, like which we use for drinking water and juices. So that glass, 4 glass is equal to 1 liter, or that is called 1000 milliliter if we are having proper scale to measure that. And we can if we are having 2 liters of water, so 5 drops are enough. 5 drops of chlorine bleach are enough. And if we are having 1 gallon, 1 gallon means 4 liter of water, so there must be added 1/8 teaspoons. Like if we make the parts 1 teaspoon, we make uh, 8 parts of that, so 1 part we have to add it in 4 liters. So 1 gallon is equal to 4 liters, so here 1 liter is equal to 4 glasses, glass, sorry, 4 glasses. Okay, so there is a proper method by the dropper. You can add the chlorine and you have to stay or wait for 30 minutes, and now your water is drinkable, and now that is pure and healthy. And because chlorine is antiseptic, germicide, it kills the germs, so there are no germs in the water now. And that must be out of reach of the children, and it has, because it is a chemical. Chlorine water, chlorine is added also. If we go to the swimming pools, we are having pungent smell, irritating smell of the chlorine in the water. In our homes, the water which we get, chlorine is also added in that water to kill the germs, as well as in water parks and swimming pools we have such type of water in which chlorine is added. So now we'll see another substance, another chemical which is used in the water. So that is potash alum. That is potash alum. And this potash alum, the common name of that, that can be alum, that can be potash alum. And like it is added to the water in this solid form, and to purify the water, and that is used mostly for suspended particles, some suspended impurities which are set which are present in the water, and by attaching with this the substantial atoms of this alum, so these sands and clay, and they all make the lump like structure, those are called precipitates. So they are settled down, and this process is also called decantation. Decantation um, means to separate the impurities. So now we can see we are having a clear water. If you see, this was the water before which is having muddy structure. Now you can see all these substances are settled down, and we are having clear water here. Next, we will see distillation process. That is very, very like a reasonable process, but it is mostly used in oil refineries, in larger water treatment plants as well. So in the lab, we can do by this apparatus. So we can get clear tap water, but it is not pure. Clear, but it is not pure. So to kill that, we have to add chlorine, or we have to add certain other things to make it germ free. So maybe it contains salts and bacteria inside it, so that's why. So we can use process of distillation to separate impurities from water. So in simple distillation, we use a heat. Now you can see this diagram, we use here heat. This is burner. So this is distillation flask, which is connected with a big tube. You can see this is a big tube, and in that we are having this smaller tube. This is called condenser. You see this one, condenser. Why it is called condenser? Because when if that is salty water, muddy water, what will happen? The water will evaporate with the heat and will come transfer to this tube, and this like, because water becomes gas now. So here in this tube, this is like covered by another larger tube that is having two openings. One is water outlet and one is water inlet. From here the water is entered and moving around this tube and make the temperature slows down. So from here the water vapors are present here, because water vapors is gas, so it is having high temperature. So when the water rotates around it, so the temperature gets decreased and the gas water vapors change into liquid form. So now we can have from here pure water into this container. So cold water just comes inside it. Due to the temperature, the water gets hotter, and then it is released from out. So one is inlet and one is outlet. Water comes from here, and but the water which we are using for distillation, that is present in this flask and coming from this tube condenser and just collected in this container, and that is now pure water. So water is collected here. So solid impurities, maybe there's salt, or maybe that is like dust or soil, whatever it can be. But soil, etc., we can separate them out by LM treatment and by filtration as well. So here we can, the dissolved substances in the water, we can remove them out. How the distillation of water or other substances are taken in the lab, because that is not for only water but a mixture of the liquids as well. It is also used in refineries, etc. The substance, the things which are just mixed here and dissolved here, all the liquids. So what happened, the which is having the low what we can say, the low boiling point, that can be escaped out quickly from this tube and just added here in this container. You can see one by one it is collecting here. So here the temperature is given, at which temperature the liquid gradually temperature is increased. So at which temperature the liquid is evaporating, boiling, and then evaporating, then that is collected here. You see from here, this tube, the water is circulating around this condenser, and the substance which is required to, that is collected here. That is very important step regarding the lab activities, because we can use such like distilled water in our labs also. Okay, so one very important and interesting fact, that the natural springs which are present like on the earth, they are having sulfur in it. So actually that natural springs are a pure, that is pure water. but it is having more amount of sulfur, in a reasonable amount of sulfur in it. So presence of sulfur makes this water germicidal. Sulfur is actually a solid substance, amorphous substance, but it is also dissolved. It is in the dissolved form in the water. So people use this water, um, of spring water, to treat their skin diseases, because sulfur is a germicide. So we can, that process is called hydrotherapy. That is called hydro, means hydro, and therapy means like treatment. So with the water that the people drink it, and the people, what they do, they just take bath through this sulfur water or hot spring water. So that these are natural springs, which just comes out from under the ground. So as we have discussed before in the previous topic, so like rashes and dry scalp, and sometimes for arthritis and lots of other skin diseases, the people use this. Okay, so one more interesting fact, that every year a large number of children die because of water-related diseases such as diarrhea. Interesting fact, like lots of children die due to this problem, due to water-related diseases, because the fresh water which is available for drinking, that is not suitable for drinking actually, because due to water pollution, lots of chemicals are just added in that water. So when we drink this water, it is very sad, because this girl is drinking this water and lots of germs are dancing, because now they will perform their function by destroying the body, or by making that person ill. So there is vomiting, there is diarrhea. Diarrhea means lose motion again and again. The person move to the toilet, and they have to use the toilet. So there is a very big problem this is. So if we see, there are some other water pollution diseases, so which are caused by the water pollution. So that is diarrhea. We have discussed about that, vomiting, typhoid, like high fever, diphtheria. So in kids, that is like diarrhea is very, very common problem. And with diarrhea, what happened, lots of water is excreted out from the body in the form of loose motion. So the body of that person just becomes dehydrated, and due to dehydration, the person can die. And we are also having the problem hepatitis, kidney damage due to this polluted water, because kidney is unable to filter all the pollutions which is in the water. Nervous disorder is there, like the brain damage, as well as skin lesions, and you can see the skin structure here. So these are some uh, problems related to polluted water. So next we will see, there are some uses of water, like we can, almost we know about the uses of water, like that water is used for domestic purpose, irrigation purpose, like farmers use them in the fields, as well as in industries for making thermal electric uh, energy, or hydroelectric energy. And here is hydroelectric energy, just we are gonna make from here, like navigation. Also animals use, that is also important for fish and wildlife, for fishing purpose, for games and sailing, etc. So let's talk about one by one. Just in homes, that water, we are having great use of water and also wastage, like drinking, like washing, brushing, planting the tree, watering the plants, cooking, bathing, lots of other purposes like washing floors, cars, grounds, and gardening, and etc. Lots of uses are there. But with that uses, we are also doing one more thing with the water, that is wastage of water. We'll talk about in a few minutes. So in agriculture, almost farmers use 88% of fresh water, that fresh water which we use for drinking purposes. So that fresh water, 88% of fresh water that is used in the fields to grow crops and vegetables. So that is a view of agricultural, a view that is actually uh, uh, um, for irrigation, like that is a new method just to water the area, water the crops as well. So by this we can reduce the water use as well. So as an energy source, for especially for hydroelectricity, we use water, because the potential energy of water is used to move propellers of turbines. There are big, big wings and fans are attached under this water. That is called turbines. And these turbines, in turn, run the generators that produce electricity. So that is called hydroelectricity, because that is produced by the power or pressure or energy of water. So there are 5 major and several small hydroelectric projects in Pakistan, including Tarbela Mangla, that is the largest one. Tarbela is the largest one, largest hydroelectric power plant. Okay, so now if you see that this is the image of like a dam. uh, at the back of this dam here, the water is collected, and when these gates and doors of the dams are opened with this potential energy, just we collect the water at height by going the height due to a change in position, potential energy is increased. So the potential energy is gonna change into kinetic energy here. So by the movement of the water, because running water is having kinetic energy, so when it drops under this, there are turbines. So when they drop on the turbines, the turbines will move, and they are connected with the generators. We'll see here. So water is collected here, and now water is flowing with a great pressure. So this potential energy is going to change into kinetic energy. Here is the turbine, and this turbine, when it is moving, here is a generator which is gonna make the electricity, and then it goes into the transformers where it is collected, and then it is released. The electricity is released to different um, areas of the city. So this water is usable again. That water discharge is there, that can also rotate again in the collected at the back, or that can be used for irrigation for home and like that, because that is fresh water. Now we will see the use of water in the industries, like lots of beverage and food industries use water as a raw material. Like any type of beverage industry, we can see, sorry, here. Yes, beverage industries are those in which the industries make drinks, fizzy drinks, juices, etc. These type of things. And in food industry, we also use water. Lots of factories use water to clean and wash metal surfaces, like in metal industries where the spare parts are formed, where the metals are like processed. So some heavy mechanical complexes, oil refineries, and nuclear reactors, they also use water for cooling purposes. Because heavy mechanical complexes in which lots of like sorry machineries are formed, are made over there. Some oil refineries where the oil is refined, and it is like crude oil is refined into different products like gasoline, like uh, petrol, diesel, and etc. And as well as nuclear reactors where like explosives are formed, nuclear explosives are formed. So because these are having great energy, these chemicals are having great energy, so energy produces heat. So due to heat, the nuclear reactors and industries can burn out and explode, uh, can explode. So for decreasing this or minimizing this chance, they have to use water for cooling purposes. So with the machine, there are cooling towers which is running water on 24 by 7 every time, and cold water is running through that, and they release hot water out of their body. You can see here, that is the cooling plant. And it is near the water body. It just takes this water, cold water, and just release the hot water. So here we can say a beverage industry in which lots of drinks are gonna just they are formed. And here they also, water is used as raw material. So if we see here, like that is also the clean water is used here for the cooling purpose. And they release the water, used water, impure water into the into the water bodies here. Okay, you can see that water is also having a great use for playing, for pleasure, and that is for swimming, fishing, sailing. And if we are going to any water parks, everyone, the kids and elders and everyone just enjoys over there with the water to play over there. So how to conserve water? This is the last topic of this chapter. So there are lots of things which we have to remind, which we have to keep in the mind. Like play your part, be water smart, wise water use. Wise water use, like when we are using in our homes, use low flow shower head. Like shut off nozzles must be used in your hoses for watering the plants. So then you have to move around when you are giving water to the plant. So yeah, when it is filled, just you have to just remove water hose from here. While brushing, while washing, while dishing, while bathing, you have to use just proper amount of water, and don't like don't allow the water to run off continuously. Just turn this off while you brush or wash. So in front of a hose, you can use broom for using your driveways and walkways, for cleaning that purpose, for washing that purpose. And install new toilets, use less than 1.5 gallons per flush, because this is the big tank which is consuming much amount of water for one time. So you must use the new toilets which are having less than this amount of water at per flush. So like plant the waters when they need that. For bathing also, you have to take shorter showers up to 5 minutes or less than this. and then water your yard and outyard while in the morning or in the evening, not at that time, at very peak time when there is more evaporation. So by that, we all can consume less water and we can save it more for others. So there is a water day, in a world water day, that is 24 or 20, sorry, 22nd March, by which we can uh, conserve water for longer period of time on the earth. Save water for some reasons why we have seen that before, that every living organism is formed from water. So that is very much to save and conserve water. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, all is born of water. If all is born in water, so definitely they need water for their activities. So reuse, water cycle and reduce the water. Reduce means less use of water. Reuse means if you left some water, like drinking water, you have just uh, drunk just half glass of water, so half don't throw that. You can just give that water to the plants, or just cover it and you can use it for the next time. Re-water cycle, like that water which is polluted, which is released in the water body, if it is released in certain specific places, so that water can be treated, filtered and refined and cleaned again for different purposes, like for irrigation purposes and for like in other industries as well. So, my dear students, one drop could save one thirsty world. So, conserve water. Be careful not to waste water, and so that lots of people can use that water. Because we know that lots of people don't get they are not getting proper amount of fresh water for drinking purpose. So one drop could save one thirsty world. So it means you have to use very less water and conserve more. So my dear students, this is all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the lessons and just got lots of information about water, those facts which you didn't know before. I'm having lots of prayers for you. Wish you good luck and remember me also in your prayers. Inshallah, we'll see you again in the upcoming chapter.